In the land of Uz, there lived a man unlike any other. His name was Job. He was blameless, upright, and faithful to God in everything he did. He had 7 sons and 3 daughters, thousands of sheep, camels, oxen, and donkeys, and a household so prosperous that people across the ancient world knew his name. He was, by every measure, a man whom God had blessed, and God was proud of him. But one day in the heavenly courts, something extraordinary happened. The angels came to present themselves before God, and among them came the adversary, known as Satan. God looked at Satan and said, "Have you considered my servant Job? There is no one on earth like him. He is blameless and upright, a man who fears God and turns away from evil." Satan's answer came cold and sharp. "Does Job fear you for nothing? You have put a fence around him and his house and everything he has. Of course he worships you. Take away everything he has, and he will curse you to your face." God paused, and then he allowed it. "Everything he has is in your power," God said. "Only do not lay a hand on the man himself." And so the trials began. In a single day, Job's world collapsed. Messengers arrived one after another, each carrying news more devastating than the last. Raiders stole his oxen and donkeys. Fire fell from the sky and burned his sheep. His camels were taken. And then, the final blow, a great wind struck the house where his children were gathered, and the house fell. All 10 of his children were gone. Job tore his robe, he shaved his head, he fell to the ground. And then he said something that stunned the heavens. "The Lord gave, and the Lord has taken away. Blessed be the name of the Lord." In all of this, Job did not sin. Satan returned to God and pressed further. "A man will give everything he has to save his own skin. Stretch out your hand and strike his flesh and bones, and he will curse you to your face." And so God allowed Satan to afflict Job's body, but not to take his life. From the soles of his feet to the crown of his head, Job was covered in painful sores. He sat in ashes, scraping himself with a piece of broken pottery. Even his wife told him to curse God and die. Job refused. 3 friends came to sit with him: Eliphaz, Bildad, and Zophar. At first, they simply sat in silence for 7 days, which was the wisest thing they ever did. Then they opened their mouths. They told Job he must have sinned. They insisted that suffering was always punishment, that God rewards the good and punishes the wicked, and so Job's pain was proof of his guilt. Job pushed back. He cried out to God, not in cursing, but in anguished honesty. He demanded to speak with God directly. He declared his innocence. He wrestled, and he wept, and he refused to let go. Then God answered Job out of the whirlwind. Not with an explanation, not with an apology. God answered with questions that stretched across creation. "Where were you when I laid the foundations of the earth? Have you entered the storehouses of snow? Can you bind the chains of the Pleiades?" Question after question, each one pulling Job's gaze higher and wider, until Job saw something he had not seen before. He saw the vastness of a God who holds galaxies in his hands and still knows the name of every sparrow. Job said, "I had heard of you by the hearing of the ear, but now my eye sees you." And that was enough. God then turned to Job's friends and told them plainly that they had spoken wrongly. Job, the one who had wrestled and wept and cried out, had spoken what was right. Job prayed for his friends, and God restored everything. God gave Job twice what he had before: new flocks, new abundance, and 7 more sons and 3 more daughters, the most beautiful in all the land. Job lived another 140 years, seeing his children and grandchildren to 4 generations. The story of Job is not a story about why suffering comes. It is a story about who holds us when it does. And the answer, from the whirlwind and beyond, is God. Subscribe to the channel for more inspiring videos.